Hello there, welcome back to another episode of Fort Triumphant and Gainy Titan, and this continues from the previous episode. It's the same playthrough, where, let's see, what happened to the last one? The last one we had a goblin party appeared. Well, we're not out of the woods yet. So, the first thing, though I thought I was, the first thing was that I had some resources to spend, and I checked that I had resources to spend, and I better make sure I take that beet farm, because I didn't do it the last time. So here comes the goblin party. Take the beet farm, yes, okay. This is corrupted magic, so offensive powers would be diminished, so I do less damage, but I would kicks and grappling hooks and things like that would be improved, or at least probably cause people to travel further. That fight is too much. Just on the sheer numbers, I might be able to do it, I suppose, with a 4-person party, particularly with a few upgrades. Now, inventory, tier 2 weapons and stuff, they're all blocked by the fact that I don't have a tier University 2. And what's the other thing? Let's see, there's 2 goblins. So this is not a serious threat, really. It's going to be quite an easy fight, because I'm going to have advantage of relatively experienced party and the first mover advantage. Tactics is a big advantage in a situation like this, because it allows me to make double attacks at the start. Now, I got a bounce back, but he didn't hit over anything, so I don't get a stun effect, and I missed with my lightning, which is actually a bit of a blow. However, we can pull him forward, bounce him off the mushroom. I don't have enough action points to do anything else, because I moved. So we withdraw as well. Now the Savage can't quite reach, but we can now bounce that mushroom off the 2 of them. Don't get enough momentum in it to kick him off the other mushrooms, so that the enemy paladin doesn't get stunned. So I'm going to withdraw in front of that fight as well, because again, I'm going to do a lot. Now he stuns my ranger. Magic user goes back into the hide, so now they've kind of separated the 2 units. This gives me a certain opportunity. We electrocute the paladin. We've a movement point left, not a lot to do with it. And Ranger is only 1 action point, and I'm not sure what is the most effective thing to do. So, in hindsight, looking at the video, I should have gone and kicked the mushroom into the enemy paladin. However, the ranger, so I'm going to have to burn slash and dash, I think, to give me the extra action points to do something effective here. So what I decided to do is just move forward and kick your man into the tree, and then just evacuate the ranger without doing anything too complicated. So my barbarian is going to get a hit, but the movement, the paladin went for the soft, squishy target. I think he was going to go for the kick on the ranger. However, the electrocute got him. Took enough of his hit points out, and this guy's bounced off the trees at the end, and he's gone as well. So it's a relatively easy fight. We get a B result. It still gives us a decent amount of renown. And we have enough movement to take us across the bridge, because it's about time we went after Garbaric the Terrible and finished this scenario. However, we now have, well, we don't have movement on the second party, so we can't do anything here, so might as well end the turn. And then I got a bit of a shock, because an enemy party arrives out of the woodwork from an unexpected direction. So obviously that enemy party must have left quite early on, has gone and explored that other territory over there, and a neutral territory that's sort of beside myself in the enemy territory, and has now come out the other side. Is about to attack my home home base, because I'm not going to be able to intercept him in time. Now I have a bit of a panic moment here in the sense that I withdraw everybody. And I didn't actually check to see how strong that unit was, because I don't know, is it a 3 or a 4 or a 2 or a 1 or what is it? Now it's going to have no trouble taking my town because I have nobody in it. All my heroes are in parties, and my hero limit is set by the fact that I have all my heroes in parties. So he's going to take the town. So the biggest danger now is that he has enough money. The goblins have enough money to take. Obviously, they felt confident enough to attack one of my parties as well. So they have enough money to take the town. Raise a couple of heroes, so they would have human heroes in the town serving the goblin faction. And they also attacked my party. They were confident enough to do it. But we get the initiative anyway. I think the initiative is quite powerful here. So I want to stun as many goblins as I can. And no, I want to drive the stone back rather than the goblin. Or bring a stone forward. Don't let the odds. So bringing the stone forward, success. It opens up, stuns that goblin, and well, I missed the swift strike, but that's okay because I managed to get rid of the cover, and I now have an Overwatch set up. So getting the paladin within range is going to cost me. So I decided not to do it, which I actually, in hindsight, but I braced him and pushed him forward, and the sole enemy party that was unstunned went for my wizard. Well, it's supposed to make a certain degree of sense. The wizard is kind of squishy, but I do have a slightly injured and stunned wizard. And the wizard's first to move, but I don't have to move him first. I can move somebody else instead. Now, I need to attack as many enemy units as I possibly can. Fortunately, the two savages aren't lined up. I'd have to do something more complicated to get that going. So we dump him in the water. We've done extra injury, and I think he'd start off because he's underwater, taking damage. And we have Ranger to shelter, and we just drop the tree on that guy. And one enemy party member, so I'm going to withdraw as well and bring people together so as to kind of. So there's another savage, bounce two of them together, but they don't get a stun because they're not bounced off of anything else. So now we have 2 enemies left. We have 3 enemies, or we have 3 party members. So I'm going to bring the wizard forward. Going to make a movement. But I can also do a flame strike and still have movement. So we set the goblin on fire, and then we can move him there. And the savage can kick him. Bang, 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 and we get a stun out of the first guy. So we can now do it again. We spin the slash and dash, and we get a kick again. I could kick or charge. It turns out I kick, and it's done enough damage that he dies. So I don't get to hit the rock behind it and bounces off the other guy, because at the back there's still unstunned savage. So now I want to stun the savage if I can. So get the attack of opportunity. It finishes up with a stunned ranger, but I can live with that because it means that he doesn't get an attack. And we can go for electrocute. Electrocute, and I have movement left, but that's okay. Movement isn't much good to me. So what I want now is to force movement on the enemy savage so as to, for the electrocute actually. So I can do it that way. So I'm going to set the archer up for Overwatch. I'm going to do the maximum amount of damage this round that I can. So we bounce him along, takes some Overwatch damage, takes electrocute damage and dies. And it's another B class encounter. And now we need to retake her down. So now I have more movement left. So I'm going to... What am I doing here? I'm going to swap a party. So I'm going to create a 4 and a 2. And we move the 4 back down to the town because in case there was a fight in the town. There was no fight in the town. They hadn't actually obviously bought anything. So now the town is mine. I now control the town buildings again, so I gain the benefits of the town buildings. So, for instance, during the last fight there, I lost the use of grudge match, or grudge camp. So I wasn't getting retaliatory strikes from enemy attacks that I was previously getting. Now it's the 2-man party, so I want to hang around here. I have a 4-man party, and I can use that to go after the main enemy party. The enemy has emitted another party, so I'm going to have to deal with that as well. I don't know how strong that party is going to be. It's unlikely I'm going to get another strong party coming out of the southwestern side of the map. So we advance as far as we can. And enemy party comes through, and it's got 3 people in it. It's considered to be a 1 skull difficulty. You know, it's probably 3 not very well leveled characters, and I got 4. So the advantage should be strongly on my side, and they're lined up quite nicely. So we get a double whammy there, and we get a stun out of it. And then we get a successful lightning strike, so now they're pretty fragile. Enemy paladin is dead. It has destroyed, the mushrooms destroyed, so I have nothing to bounce this guy off of if I use grappling hook. He's a 1-shot kill from any weapon that hits him. We miss with the swift strike. And we could go with an arrow. We should have a better chance of hitting because there's no swift strike. Now, it's going to cost us 2 action points to move the... Well, I'll leave the ranger for the moment, actually. We don't get a stunning attack off of that goblin. We bounce them off of an object. Now, this guy's got to level up. So we take Bloodlust because it's well worth taking, because kill gives me an action point. Now I am less than optimal here because I don't move. I should have moved first. And I'm not sure also if I had some issues. Eventually, anyway, I opt for the shuriken attack. Now it's a 60%er, but if I missed. But if I'd moved, I would have done 2 points of damage, and he would have died next turn anyway. I don't quite reach, but my fire lift reaches. So we take him out of the attack of opportunity, and the other savage kills him. And I think that's it. We're leveling up again. Oh, there's 1 goblin remaining alive. So I'm going to use my slash and dash with the second goblin, and I still haven't leveled up. Bounce him off the wall, and he's taken out of the fight. That's an A+. Because the enemy got so little opportunity to respond. I think that's what gives you an A+. So now we're going to penetrate into the enemy territory with a 4-man party, and we have quite a bit of resources. So I could probably do something useful in the town. We've upgraded the university. Don't think we've upgraded the town hall, have we? So now we've infantry slots, tier 2 weapons. We can't get any more heroes, and I'm probably trying to go for Accelerator or some one of those ones, because they give me, that would be a very tough fight for a 2-man party. Probably easy enough fight for 3-man party. So I'm not too sure about the wisdom of the way I split the parties last time around. But, you know, the scenario is nearly over. I don't really need any of this stuff. We have a level up to do. A lot to be claw damage gives me what you call it. Well, it gives me extra damage, but also I think it introduces bleeding into the factor, which is quite powerful because again it can rob opportunity attacks. Although there are enemy creatures that have persistent opportunity attacks, and they can take a round of damage or whatever without being affected. The town fight is, you know, within reach of parameters, and I just see another beet farm there, so I might as well take that on my way in. So we've no movement left with the small party, and well, I suppose these resources will be handy to pick up. Don't strictly speaking need them, and I probably don't need a 4-person party over the other end. I'm going to attempt this battle. Gets me an extra hero, so it's possibly worth it, but it's going to be on the really difficult side. On the other hand, I do have the advantage of having a lot of level up. I think the battle scoring system, the system that sets the difficulty, takes into account the raw abilities, but I don't think it takes into account some of the add-ons. So, benefits given to you by equipment, by town purchases, and guild purchases, I don't think are very well accounted for. We've taken the level up of makes like a tree. Basically, the ranger can pretend effectively to be a 3, and they're not attacked when they're in tree form. So we've done another cleric priest, and I have a movement point left. Not just anything terribly effective that I can do. The thing is that here we're going to be caught by the virtue of the fact that there's just so many enemies and so few of us. However, he attacks, you see, so I get my retaliatory strike. I only get 1 because it's low level, and I think eventually, if I finally max it out, I think there's an upgrade actually that allows me to strike for every turn, but I have very rarely had the opportunity to implement that upgrade, because just what you call it, it's so it just costs so much resources to do it that even in the skirmish games I very rarely had the chance to go for the multi-retaliatory strike. Now I've been caught with a taking opportunity there, and it's cost me my my ranger now is blind, which is going to be rather nasty. So we have an attacking opportunities. This guy's passing. He still gets his retaliatory strike, which is great because that's another minion down, another peasant's dead. I've blinded a couple of the clerics, so one is healing and Overwatch is going in. Ranger's going to get a thump, but the ranger thumps back and it's a wounded minion, so the minion is dead. Our peasant is dead, so it's now down to a more manageable 4 units, and my guys are not in bad shape. Okay, the ranger has taken some damage, but he's still better off than the starting level ranger, and he's got a level up. So I think now I can go for that, which I think gives me healing as well as a boost to the attack value. Now, I don't particularly care. It's the Overwatch I'm triggering there, isn't it? So if I blind this guy, it's guaranteed hit with the blind searing light or blinding light, whatever it's called. I can run past this guy. Well, there's another Overwatch, which is at long range, so it missed. And it's the ranger's turn, so we make like a tree again because the ranger is wounded and therefore in a position to take damage, and the paladin will heal a lot of the damage that's inflicted upon himself, and he actually has more hit points to start with, so he can effectively tank. And these guys have all chosen to heal themselves, or each other, which makes it a bit harder to take out. But the thing is, I can dish out damage faster than they can heal it up, at least on a focus fire basis. Now, the pull is going to do me no good there, so I might as well use the attack options, and we get into position where if I can kick this rock, which I miss because I'm blind, but it means this guy's going to focus. This guy's bleeding now as well, so he missed because of the blindness again. He missed the ranger, and we have these two guys focusing on the bottom. So that's okay. The ranger can take this guy out without too much difficulty, because we get around, we take away his 3 cover bonus, and one shot should do the job. Yep, that's it. Finished. Now it's 2v2. And I have a healing potion, so I'm going to take the healing potion. I'm going to brace. And I'm going to move adjacent to this guy, so he's now... he takes the attack of opportunity, but he missed with his own attack, and the ranger's been attacked. Right. Overwatch. No, we're actually trying to shoot. I don't know. I'd have been better off to waiting actually until the ranger was... Okay, so... debating as to what to do there. What did I finish up doing? He tries to move again. And now we have back to the ranger. Ranger's blinded again. So that missed. Don't know why I'm not doing Overwatch. Overwatch would work better. That actually hit, did it? Yeah, it did. Now it's the Paladin's turn to move, and I'm going for the kick, where I'm going for a brace, which will reduce the damage, and it's free, it doesn't cost me anything. So if I kick him, I bounce him off the fence, and that gets me the stun effect, and it levels up my ranger. And well, the ranger doesn't have any movement points left. He's got an attack, which he makes it on the ranger. Things are getting pretty grim for the ranger right now. So, ranger is going to move, which is going to be a problem, but I can pull him, get him into the water, which stuns him, and leaves him on very low health. And what do we do here? We use Searing Light on the other guy because he's bleeding and he's blind. So hopefully when he attacks the ranger or the paladin, he misses. And the other guy doesn't have an attack, which is exactly what we want. So I'm going to use the smoke to get both of them blind, and then I'm going to lift one of them into a nice convenient location where the paladin might be able to get the two of them. Depends on how the rock column falls. I hope it doesn't kill my ranger. That would be embarrassing. It doesn't fall at all, but I get the ranger healed up a little bit. And this guy's blind, so he thinks that his best maneuver is to he's going to Overwatch, but the ranger doesn't have to move to kill him. So we only get a D here because we struggled a bit, and it's not as good a result. However, we get a hero or Beatcoin. Did I go for Beatcoin? No, I went for the hero. Because I now have 3 heroes. And see, the fights have suddenly become easier. So we're getting, and the thing is, we're getting reputation from these fights. So the secondary party is generating reputation. Or renown. Wow, there's a lot of guys here. Secondary party is generating renown, and renown is giving me options to buy stuff, which will make the primary party and the secondary party more powerful. So we've managed to blind 3 of them. And we have the option of doing something else. And the paladin should probably be bolstering, the free bolster, but anyway, he'll still have a movement point left at the end of this. So we go for the kick. He wasn't quite the angle I thought he'd be in. I thought I would have got more than 1 stunned there, but it turned out that I misjudged my angles. Right, now we have a savage, and we need to get more people stunned. Blinded is nice, but more people stunned is better. Right, now we have 2 people stunned. And he doesn't have a secondary attack. So it is down to the ranger. Right, we have more people stunned. And we need to pull back the paladin. Miss is pretty good as well. Because obviously, as you can see, miss causes people to not do damage, and thereby their turn effectively becomes useless or less effective. It's not as good as the stun, but you know, I live with it. Right, now what do? We have 2 lads here that need spanking, and I don't have much to spank them with, though, is the unfortunate thing. Now, what's the most effective way of doing this? Doesn't matter, I missed. Okay, straightforward kick down the line. 2 guys bounce off each other because they're creatures, they're not stun protected. They get stunned. Savage gets a second move. And what's he going to do? What's he going to do? He's going to do... Not going to do anything. Oh, there's 3 guys there, so let's get all of these 3 lined up. And, I mean, they're only minions or peasants, but you know. And it gives me a level up on the savage. And since he's a brand new savage, it gives him his slash and dash. Which means all of a sudden, nothing, because I don't have a charge or anything like that to go with it. So, I think we continue on the theme of if we put him there, that puts people into zone of control. Oh, he's got, you use the slash and dash, and we're going to trigger. An attack of opportunity to get some extra damage in. Right, thump back. Not as effective as it might be. Thump back. That is effective because it's a savage doing it. This is going to hurt. Fortunately, he didn't have the movement to get him in and bang him off because the brutes have a stunning attack. And what I really could do without is having a stunned hero at this point in time. We go into a tree, so they should ignore me, but they're too far away to do anything. Okay, should probably have done that differently, but anyway. I could return the favour. Move the brute. Well, at least the same thing again. So I move the brute and the paladin kills him. And another level up. However, we can't get bloodlust quite yet. We haven't got far enough, but we can get charge. Because charge is handy, because we can now charge and stun him. I definitely screwed up there with the ranger. And now I can kick him into the peasant and kill both of them. So we've these two lads. We just click off the turn. He goes in, gets the return strike, dies. Another level up, and he goes down, hits fairly hard. Okay, these guys, Savage was in range. I didn't think he would be, but well, so I have a stunned Savage. However, there's only 3 of them, so I can live with this. Because we have the Ranger, and the Ranger now has options, multiple attacks. So let's go with the flow. So that kills him, pulls him out of the way, and it heals up the Savage a little bit. Boom, boom. And if I go weird there. Let's brace. Have movement. And we level up, and now we can multi-attack. Because I've already gotten a level 2 level 2 level up, so I can now go to level 3. And so now I have a pretty strong party, because that was, of all the experience we generated, I think it looks like it's being pumped into the lowest level character. And there are only 2 enemies left. So, what to do, where to go, doesn't really matter. He's stunned. He doesn't have a lot of hit points left. But he's able to survive the attack from the minion and kill him. And this guy cannot attack, which is good. So we move the Ranger around. So we're now at the other side of the tree. And we just make all the attacks we can. We miss with the swift arrow. Let's fire a regular arrow. We hit with a regular arrow, but he's still alive now. He will take bleeding, but he will survive the next round. And that is it. Game over. And we got a B out of it. Despite the fact that, we were heavily outnumbered. And I did make some mistakes, but we still got a B class into that fight. And we still had a greenhorn hero. And we got the Eye of Nude, which is, it's okay as a magic item goes. But it's one of these ones, there's better. It's not one of the best ones. And we're back around now, we can reassign stuff. So let's give some action points and things like that. You never know, he might be useful to him. We can do stuff at the town. We have a lot of resources now, so we could probably build a building straight, even with the expensive. And we have some quite expensive stuff, so I get patience. Overwatch and Brace now costs 1 action point. And that's it, I think. City Hall. Click to go and upgrade. We can upgrade City Hall, so we upgrade City Hall. It is University 2, and there's no further upgrading there. Anyway, we've only 170 odd. So we go to the Beatcoin farm. We go along, and now it is. We're in striking distance of the finale. And now it's the Goblin's turn. Well, I got in the turn. And I saved the game. So that's it. We're going to do the finale fight in the next episode. because that fight is actually fairly extended. And anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it interesting. If you did, please give it a like and a share. Feel free to comment. If you've not already done so, please subscribe to the channel. I will catch you all again soon. Bye for now.